Welcome back to the channel. My name's Brad, and I'm going to discuss what I regret about investing in Roundhill and maybe one day Yieldmax. So let's jump right into it. I regret not thinking about the process in this manner. So synthetic cover calls, any of the ETFs that are having synthetics, deep in the money calls, calls and puts to generate that synthetic, think of it more of this manner. We are the CEOs. We are the silent partners. The ETF is our production, our general managers, our accountants, our warehouse, and everything else. And we pay them a fee for doing this for us. They are our worker bees. Normally when you invest in an ETF, you own the underlying. These underlyings, they have CEOs. They have people making these decisions of what to do with revenue and reinvestments and everything else. In these synthetics, you become the decision maker. You become that person having to do this. I look at it in several different ways. You're the business owner. When you buy in, the NAV, the price, the shares, is our inventory. The ETF guys, they're doing the buying and selling. They're our worker bees. In a sense, they work for us, kinda, but they're the ones doing it. And without our money, they wouldn't be doing it. So yeah, they kind of work for us, but they don't answer to us. Keep that in mind. They do not answer to us. They work for us. And if we don't like the job that they're doing, we can take our capital and move it someplace else. But that gets us back into inventory. So if I look at this more of a business model, or some of the other ways of looking at this is, hey, some of these funds are baby cows or saplings, and you need that compounding effect for these to grow. These are more the Yieldmax, personal opinion. I think the Roundhill are more like cows approaching breeding age. That now you're almost to the point of being able to have them as the cash cow. They're almost to the size of a tree to generate fruit. What I'm thinking most people out there they're buying a cash cow. They're buying a tree generating fruit, but then they don't want to feed the cow or water the tree. And that's part of the issue. So if I'm going to put this in a business model perspective, and this is again very basic business model, the NAV buys your inventory. That's basically it. NAV price goes down, the cost of your inventory goes down. But wait a second. Are you losing inventory? No. You're not losing inventory. The inventory is still there. I struggle with that one. Your inventory is still there. Roundhill will still own those deep in the money calls. That inventory might be worth a little bit less right now, but they still own it. They can still generate the calls to generate the revenue. Same thing can be said about Yieldmax. They will still be able to do the synthetics, and they will still be able to generate the revenue for you, even though the NAV went down, because they still have the funds, and they can actually, when the market goes down, they can generate the synthetics at a lower cost. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you, because it doesn't cost them as much money to do the sells and the puts. And the same thing for Roundhill. If you're reinvesting, you're able to get inventory at a lower cost. Now, what everybody's afraid of is that that inventory will never get back up to the price that they originally bought it for. But that's where you got to think about this as a business, right? The reduction in NAV, and I'm going to look at my notes real quick because I wrote this down to make sure I got it right. The erosion of capital is the cost of goods sold as well as depletion of inventory. Say that again. Erosion of capital is the cost of goods sold as well as the depletion of inventory. You're the business owner. I've seen many businesses. Some people run their businesses and they milk it for everything. This is later in life. They milk it and then they get bought out by somebody else. Some businesses reinvest. They're making these decisions for you. In the case of these synthetics, treat it like a business. You make this decision. Yes, they give you revenue. Yes, you might have to pay taxes on that revenue. That complicates things, because now you got to pay the taxes before you do it. But hey, let's take a quick look at Tesla. Decent company at 15%, right? Net margin. And that's what we got to think about. If Tesla's at 15%, and we can be closer to 20, 25% net revenue after NAV erosion, you got to sit back and say, where else can you invest, and what company can you invest in that's going to get you a net revenue? So let's stop thinking about it in the same manner. Some of them, Yieldmax, you're buying a baby cow. Roundhill, you're buying almost a fully mature cow. But you're going to have to nourish these. You're going to have to let them grow. And I regret not thinking about this. This all comes from a comment that I read earlier. What the comment really goes back to, the market is going to go down. Great. The revenue I'm getting from my company, I can reinvest it back into the company, and I can buy more inventory at a lower price. If you're running a business and you can get inventory at a lower price, wouldn't you? I think that you would. Especially when they can take that inventory that you just gave them, generate more revenue, so you can continue to do more inventory. Now, these are the questions that you have to ask. Are you looking for a fully grown cow that you never have to water or feed, or a fruit tree that's giving fruit that you never have to water? Right? Because if you don't feed them and you don't grow them to maturity, they're going to end up being dead cows and dead trees. So keep that in mind when you're starting to think about this. Market goes down, I reinvest them at a lower price for more inventory, for them to write more calls to generate me more revenue. I'm using that 20% rule. I think some of these cows need a little more maturing. I think some of these are getting very close to maturity. And I think we always need to think of how are we going to put money back into them so they don't die on us? So keep that in mind. Market goes down, hey, your cost of your inventory that you had went down. It's not a bad thing. I'm working on a video that's the NAV just continues to drop exponentially. But if you take the revenue that they're giving you and you put it back into the company and you go, that's a business decision. I put it back in. How much can I take out? It's a lot closer to 20%. And your original capital, yes, it's depleting. That's the cost of doing business. That's the cost of goods sold. But you have to replenish that inventory. And that's what I regret. I regret not thinking of this as a company that I run. The ETFs are the general managers. No, they don't answer to me, but they're the general managers. They're the accountants. They're my worker bees. They're my production people. They're my warehouse people. They generate revenue. We give them back a portion of that revenue to buy more inventory. Hopefully that explains what I regret, because I regret not thinking of it this way. And hopefully if you think of it this way, everybody gets out of NAV erosion is bad. It doesn't have to necessarily mean bad. It just might mean the cost of goods sold and the depletion of your inventory is going down faster than you would like. But then it's just a calculation of how much more inventory do I need to buy and how much do I get to keep? That becomes the question. Not the question of, is this a bad investment? Because this, and again, this isn't financial advice, but think of this more as a business and as a business adventure than going down and buying a portion of a company and letting that CEO figure out how much he's going to reinvest for you and how much he's going to invest in inventories and invest in people and invest in other assets. Very simple business model. If you keep it to the business model mentality, you'll think of, I can reinvest and buy more inventory at a lower price. And how much of that inventory do I need to buy to continue to feed my cows or water my trees? That becomes the question. That's all a personal decision. But hopefully this gives you a little more mindset of NAV erosion is bad. Capital erosion is bad. Because what I'm seeing, especially with some of these funds, their capital erosion is so small that replenishing that inventory, because that's the inventory that went out, with the revenue that I'm generating, it's a good investment. Go find a business owner that tells you, hey, my business makes 20% after taxes, after I pay my employees, after I pay my rent, after. Now, in a taxable account, now you have a tax question that comes in. How much taxes are you going to have to pay on it? And then does it become still a reliable investment? That's why when I hear some of these guys talk about, hey, we're going to take this and maybe not have distributions, maybe that's better for a taxable account. Because that way you don't have to worry about the taxes until you sell it. That's a it's an interesting conversation. Hopefully this gives you a different mindset of investing in these synthetics. But that's something that we all need to start thinking about, is this is a business that we own, not an actual business that somebody else is running that we only own a portion of. Hopefully that brings value to you today. Until next time, God bless.